Today we are at Kelvedon Hatch. Kelvedon Hatch has a secret nuclear bunker. It was built during the Cold War and it houses up to 600 civilian and military personnel. It's the headquarters where the country would have been run by in case of a nuclear war. We are very lucky to be joined by Mike Parrish. Mike is the owner of this incredible place, the secret nuclear bunker. Mike's going to tell us all about how he acquired it. Hi, Mike.
Hi. Well, in 1952, the government approached my grandfather and wanted to know whether he would sell them this 25 acres of land. It was under the threat of compulsory purchase, but as he'd fought 2 world wars, didn't want to fight a third, he thought it would be a good thing that he could do. So the Air Ministry, as it was then, got this 25 acres, bulldozed the hill away and built the bunker. It's 100 foot underground, and you can't see it obviously apart from a mast that's on the top.
It does sound like the war's still going on, actually. You could hear the firemen in the background, as long as you're still not fighting the battle today.
That's keeping the pigeon off the rape.
Now, you are going to take us on an incredible tour, aren't you, today? And you're going to tell us all the information about all the different rooms and who would have been here if a nuclear war did break out.
I would hope to do that for you.
That sounds great. Shall we go on the journey?
Let's do that.
Excellent, thank you.
This is the actual guardhouse where the guards would have been based. They lived in the bungalow that you've already seen as you came in. And there were always guards on duty here. The doors were shut, the shutters were shut, and nobody could get in here, of course, because it was top secret. You had to show your pass before you were allowed in to make sure you were bona fide. Now, of course, this is the normal entrance for the public. They come in here, they help themselves to a wand, which gives them the tour, and they go off into the bunker and do the tour.
This room is absolutely amazing. This looks like where it all goes on, the big engine room. Tell us about this one, Mike.
Well, you're quite right, it is amazing. It's been used in a lot of films as, submarine engines and all sorts. But this is the main plant room, as you said. The big equipment you see there, that's just one giant refrigerator, keeping everything nice and cool. The fresh air from outside, where we've just been, would have been pumped through the primary filters. Then it comes in this room over there and goes through the secondary filters, and then through a very fine mist of water, which makes sure that any dust that has got through is drenched and therefore gets evacuated out of the bunker. And we then have fairly fresh air coming into the bunker here, which is obviously what we then got to live on.
Was it quite noisy when it was in working order?
Certainly when these compressors are going, it's very, very noisy, yes.
But, need your earmuffs.
we don't need to keep the bunker cool now because we don't have enough people in here to warrant that. Yes. So we just use the fans and the filters and keep them going.
It's like a ship's engine, isn't it?
It's very much like a ship's engine, yes. And say it's been used lots of times for film locations, people breaking in the roof and discovering it, that sort of thing. But yeah, it looks good, it looks big, but it's functional. And what it does is scrub the air to make sure that the people in here are going to be able to breathe non-biological, non-radioactive air.
Mike, this room looks like a right hub of action. Did it have a special name and what went on here? No,
this is the government level floor. This is where every department of state would have been represented. You'll see the Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Housing, Ministry of, as it was then, Public Building and Works, even Social Security, the Home Office. They would have all been in here trying to coordinate the survival of those that had survived, allocating surviving resources from the various government stores to those of us who had managed to survive.
Yes.
And that was what they did. That was all what this floor really was doing, was just coordinating survival.
Now, you say this is the room where they coordinated survival outside. Can you go into a bit more detail about what would have been going on outside?
Nothing would have been going on outside. Temperatures of...
Well, there was nothing to coordinate then, was there?
Temperatures of minus 40, 45 degrees, no leaves on the trees, radiation everywhere, of course, no animals, nothing electronic working. Fires raging because petrol would have blown up with a heat blast and that sort of thing. It would have been fairly desolate out there. And so these people here would be under enormous stress, not knowing what their families have been, what their families had happened to them, and they would be trying to do their best to coordinate survival. Same time, you've got marauding gangs, those who've now got a gun, because the thing that's most important now, of course, is water and food.
Yes,
and
true.
that's what they want. Money's no good, and you've got to try and control them as well. Hopefully the Commissioner here would have control of the army would have sufficient forces survived to be able to bring the country to a state of democracy again, rather than anarchy.
Tell us about the tunnel.
Well, the fire brigade insisted that we had another exit in the
Okay.
bunker, so that if you were on the top and there was a fire, you could escape. So it's quite right. So we employed some diamond cutting people to do the job of cutting through. Quite amazing. They had a rubber band covered in diamonds that just went round and round and round and round and round and round. And you can see they cut the four places, and you can see the marks actually on the walls here. It took them 11 weeks to cut through it. To get the block out, because not only is it 10 foot thick, but it's also reinforced and made like concrete should be made, with really good tough stone. And so it was actually quite a feat to make this exit through the bunker wall.
So it was cut with diamonds?
Cut with diamonds, yes. And then, having cut the cube out, they then bored a hole through, which is what that is, and then pumped it up with pneumatically, and that cracked it and broke it. And so they were then able to cart it out in little bits. You can see that the reinforcing is all the way through here, this way and that way. So that's making it strong. Very good, strong stone in there, and that's, as you say, where the diamond rubber band went.
We've come to the canteen. This is where it all, I suppose this was the hub, wasn't it, where people would gather, have their meals, and this is where they cooked for up to 600?
In the first life, yes, it was 600. Later on, it was about 450. So it was open 24 hours a day. Obviously, it shifted as it came off, had something to eat, probably went then to sleep, or I don't know what, but it was open all the time.
What would the meals have been like then?
Well, originally, I guess they'd have brought in perishable food, which they refused, but after that, they'd have used the ordinary rat packs, tinned food, dried food, anything that obviously will keep for indefinite period.
Okay, where was all the food stored?
Everywhere. It was stored in the pantry, but it was stored under beds, on top of cupboards, just everywhere. The nice little brown boxes that contain the rations, just everywhere to keep everybody alive.
Yeah, I guess so.
And yes, this was the social part of it, obviously. Yes. Your one little bit of relaxation that you've got. It is the original kitchen. This is what the Home Office used.
Oh, really? So it hasn't changed much then?
No. No.
But as we can see, it's when
it's still a very good commercial
have
chicken.
A walk around,
Absolutely.
yes, and as you say, when you hire it out for parties, it's all functioning, so it all works.
Absolutely.
Yes, great stuff. So, just on our sort of closing note, Mike, if you'd like to tell us a little bit more about how people can come if they want to hire this place. It's fascinating because they can come and stay overnight and have their parties and their weddings and all kinds of things.
We are open to any suggestion of anything.
Okay.
We try not to have too many youngsters who are going to run riot. But obviously, if anybody wants to hire it, they go on our website, secretnuclearbunker.co.uk, and we're open all year round.
Okay. Anytime? They can just come?
They can just come when we're open, between 10 and 4.
Okay. So, does anybody give a tour? Can anybody get a tour? Or do they just help themselves when they come into the...
They help themselves to an audio wand,
right.
And they just go round. It takes about an hour and a half to go round. Okay. And then they pay in the honesty box when they get here. Most people are very honest and don't try and cheat us at all.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, it's a fantastic experience, and it's such an unusual place. I mean, I guess there isn't anything else like it in the country, is there?
Well, there would be the country is riddled with bunkers.
What, as big as this one?
Some bigger than this one. Yes, the one at Caution, for example, is bigger than this one.
Okay.
And High Wycombe is bigger than this one, but that's a military one. So you've got military bunkers,
right.
You've got Home Office bunkers, you've got District Council, Borough Council, utility bunkers, all spread all over the country, absolutely everywhere.
Are they open like this one is?
No. There are very few that are open.
That's what I was thinking.
There's us here at Kelvedon
because I haven't heard of anything else apart from
Hack
this one.
Green in Cheshire and Troywood up in Scotland.
Okay.
They're the only ones that are regularly open.
Right. It's been absolutely incredible. What an experience. And I must admit, I would recommend anyone to come and try it and just see what it was like and feel what it must have been like if that had happened. But thank you so much for your time, Mike. It's been absolutely
my pleasure.
Thank you.
Do come back and visit us in the real capacity.
We will. Thank you very much. Cheers.